Yeah, well, I thought UCLA was terrific, until the game got out of hand, and then it was a little sloppy. But I thought they really defended us well, and they were sharp offensively, and we kind of had set up ourselves to play some triangle and two like we had played against them in the Thanksgiving time. But they hit some shots early, and we didn't quite get organized, and I thought their confidence only grew from their start. So, we hit some shots in the first half. Audrey got hot, and we hit enough threes to kind of hang in the game. But I think it was a testament to how well they played that even though we shot it pretty well, we weren't really in a very good position at halftime. We weren't out of it, but, and then they continued to play well. So they did a good job mixing defenses. They played, they kept us off balance with presses and, back zone a lot. But, so I thought they played really well. And I think they'll have a good chance to go to Kansas City and be super competitive there. So proud of our group. We had a great year, great season. We've been in the second round of the NCAA tournament back-to-back years, which we've never done. So hopefully this is a sign for us going forward that we can be an even more competitive program.
We'll start with questions for Aubrey first.
Audrey, can you comment on how much different UCLA played this game as opposed to when you played them in November?
Yeah, I mean, offensively, they just made everything really hard. It was hard to get anything going to the basket. They're really athletic. Just made catches hard. Just made everything we did hard. So I think their defense was just definitely more pressuring on their defensive end.
You were able to shoot better tonight. What did you do differently than Saturday?
I didn't really do much differently, honestly. Just kind of tried to forget about the last game and come in with a new mindset and just take what they give me.
Any other questions for Audrey? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead and open up questions for Coach Flannery.
Coach, was this a question of where, like you might say before the game, I don't want to get into a track meet, but that was kind of what happened?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I thought they did a good job of in watching their American game. They I don't think they pressed quite as much. Maybe it's because American did a little bit better job of breaking the press and attacking, or just was a little bit sharper. But I do think they forced pace a little bit, but I don't think it was. We've played. Marquette and DePaul are both super up tempo, and we usually try to slow it down a little bit. But they played really well early. The shots they missed, they rebounded, and we could clearly. I thought from a communication standpoint and just a physicality standpoint early, we needed to be better because they got off to a good start and then they played with confidence the rest of the way. But it's one thing to say block out and be physical. It's another thing to actually do it when you're trying to block out somebody that's bigger and stronger and can jump higher. So, and like I said, they got hot, and I probably outthought myself a little bit with the triangle. We, in retrospect, maybe we should have played more man from the beginning, because I just thought we got caught not communicating as well, and as we needed to, because that's not our traditional defense. But and the difference is, Dean didn't play against us the first time. She obviously can shoot it, and then Burke hit a couple early, and so that hurt us too. Sorry. Okay. Well, I can talk loud if you need me to. You just heard me yell, didn't you?
Okay. Did they press more than you expected?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, not that I didn't expect that, but partly because I think they were smart. We rely a lot on Sydney, and I thought their goal was to kind of wear her out, and I thought they did a good job of doing that. And again, in retrospect, maybe we should have had Olivia be our primary ball handler a little bit more. We tried Temi Sarda a little bit, and she got a little sped up too. So I thought they did a good job of really making Sydney have to work, and as a result of that, her numbers weren't anywhere close to what they were the other night. But we ask a lot of her, and we probably should have had a little bit better approach as far as taking some pressure off her.
Any other questions?
Okay. When you look back on disappointed now,
Sure.
but if you look back on this in 2 weeks, how do you think you would sum up this season?
Well, like I said, it's the first time we've ever been to the second round in consecutive years. We've been to the second round of the NCAA tournament, so to me that's a great sign. And we lost good players last year. We lost a three-time all-conference player who was a senior for us last year. We lost our starting post player, and then we lost kind of a glue kid and another kid who didn't play last year. So we lost a really good class and still managed to make the second round of the NCAA tournament. And we lose some good kids off this year's team, but I think anytime you win and you have success, it's a little. I don't want to say it's easier. It's a little bit. There's a little bit better roadmap as to how to do it the next year, and I think that's what I really appreciated about this team is I felt like we didn't have maybe quite as many pieces overall as the team that we had last year, but I feel like these guys learned how to win the year before, and they kept fighting and they kept trying to figure things out, and that's a neat thing to see in sport. Is that because I do think we didn't like I said, we didn't have as many pieces as we had last year. We lost some really good players, and so for a program who's only been just came from the Missouri Valley not very long ago, and I think it's neat that we could at least in terms of NCAA tournament success, duplicate what we did the year before. We weren't quite as good in the regular season, but we were still a really competitive, good basketball team.
We might have gone over this a little, but how is UCLA better now than they were in November?
Yeah, well, Dean, I think, gives them another shooter. I thought, they're experienced, and I don't know. They had. I just thought their focus was really good, and I thought defensively they were. I thought they were better for longer. When we played them in November, I thought they had stretches where they really were disruptive, but I thought the stretches today were longer where I thought they really were attentive defensively and didn't allow us much easy. And I thought they made some nice adjustments within their zone. So when we threw the ball to the foul line, they really stretched out and made us make plays from the foul line, and we really didn't do that. And so that's my fault. We probably weren't as prepared for the adjustments that they made in their zone versus what we saw in November and then what we saw against American a couple days ago. So credit to them for that.